Have you ever felt like something was holding you back, but you couldn't quite put your finger on it? What if I told you that you might be trapped without even knowing it? Imagine waking up one day feeling like your life is on autopilot, like you're stuck in a never-ending loop of monotony and despair. That's exactly how I felt not too long ago. But through a series of unexpected events, I discovered the truth about soul traps and how they were affecting my life. Stick around to learn how you can break free from the invisible chains that might be holding you back. As we delve deeper into the realm of soul traps, it's essential to understand their ancient origins and how they've evolved over time. Ancient civilizations believed in various forms of soul entrapment, from curses placed upon enemies to spiritual bindings used for protection. In today's modern world, the concept of soul traps may seem like nothing more than superstition to some, but for others, it's a very real and tangible phenomenon. From the subtle manipulation of energy to elaborate rituals designed to ensnare unsuspecting victims, soul traps come in many shapes and forms. One common type of soul trap is known as the emotional manipulation trap. This occurs when someone or something preys upon your emotions, keeping you trapped in a cycle of negativity and self-doubt. It can be challenging to break free from this type of trap, as it often preys upon our deepest insecurities and fears. Another prevalent form of soul trap is the karmic entanglement trap. This occurs when past actions or unresolved issues from previous lifetimes continue to impact your current reality, trapping you in a repetitive cycle of suffering and hardship. Breaking free from this type of trap requires a deep understanding of karmic principles and a willingness to confront and resolve past traumas. But how do soul traps actually work? At their core, soul traps operate by exploiting vulnerabilities within the human psyche and energy field. They feed off negative emotions and lower vibrational frequencies, keeping you stuck in a state of disempowerment and spiritual stagnation. So how can you tell if you're trapped in a soul trap? There are several signs to watch out for, including recurring nightmares, chronic feelings of unease or anxiety, and a sense of being disconnected from your true self. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms, it's essential to take proactive steps to break free from the trap and reclaim your sovereignty. Breaking free from a soul trap requires courage, determination, and a willingness to confront your deepest fears and insecurities. It often involves facing uncomfortable truths about yourself and taking responsibility for your own healing and growth. But rest assured, you are not alone on this journey. There are many resources and support systems available to help you navigate the challenges of soul liberation. One of the most effective strategies for breaking free from soul traps is to cultivate self-awareness and mindfulness. By becoming more attuned to your thoughts, emotions, and energetic patterns, you can identify the subtle ways in which soul traps may be influencing your life. Practices such as meditation, journaling, and breathwork can help you develop a deeper understanding of your inner landscape and break free from unconscious patterns of behavior. Another effective method for breaking free from soul traps is to practice energy cleansing using different techniques. Instead of smudging with sage, you could try burning other herbs like lavender or palo santo. Additionally, instead of relying solely on crystals and gemstones, you might explore the use of salt baths or salt lamps to absorb negative energy. Another approach is to engage in activities like deep breathing exercises or physical movement to release energetic blockages. By incorporating a variety of cleansing practices, you can effectively clear away stagnant energy and restore harmony to your energetic field, helping to weaken the influence of soul traps and make room for positive changes to take place. In addition to individual healing practices, community support can play a crucial role in breaking free from soul traps. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who are also on the path of spiritual awakening can provide encouragement, inspiration, and guidance along the way. Whether it's through online forums, support groups, or spiritual retreats, connecting with others who share your journey can help you feel less alone and more empowered to make positive changes in your life. Now let's hear from some individuals who have experienced firsthand the transformative power of breaking free from soul traps. Their stories serve as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the profound potential for growth and healing that lies within each of us. Let's dive into the story of Sarah, a woman who spent years feeling trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and unworthiness. Sarah grew up in a family where success was measured by external achievements and validation from others. As a result, she learned to base her self-worth on external factors such as her job title, salary, and social status. For years, Sarah chased after success and approval, believing that achieving certain milestones would finally bring her the happiness and fulfillment she craved. However, no matter how much she accomplished, she never felt truly satisfied. Deep down, she knew something was missing, but she couldn't quite put her finger on it. It wasn't until Sarah hit rock bottom, experiencing a series of setbacks in her career, relationships, and health, that she began to question the beliefs and expectations that had been driving her life. In her darkest moments, she realized that she had been living according to someone else's script, trapped in a cycle of striving and seeking external validation. With the support of a trusted mentor and spiritual teacher, Sarah embarked on a journey of self-discovery and healing. She learned to quiet the noise of external expectations and tune into her inner voice, reconnecting with her true essence and purpose. Through practices such as meditation, yoga, and energy healing, she began to unravel the layers of conditioning and fear that had kept her stuck for so long. As Sarah peeled back the layers of her conditioning, she uncovered deep-seated beliefs of unworthiness and inadequacy that had been holding her back. With compassion and courage, she faced these shadows head-on, embracing them as part of her journey toward wholeness. In doing so, she reclaimed her power and liberated herself from the soul traps that had kept her imprisoned for years. Today, Sarah lives a life of authenticity, joy, and purpose. She no longer seeks validation from external sources, but instead finds fulfillment from within. By breaking free from the soul traps of self-doubt and unworthiness, she has stepped into her true power and potential, inspiring others to do the same. Sarah's story is a powerful reminder that we all have the ability to break free from the soul traps that keep us stuck and unfulfilled. By cultivating self-awareness, engaging in energy-clearing practices, and seeking support from others, we can liberate ourselves from unconscious patterns and live lives of greater meaning and authenticity. Now, let's explore the concept of soul traps and how they manifest in our lives. Soul traps are subtle yet powerful forces that keep us stuck in limiting patterns and prevent us from realizing our true potential. They can take many forms, from societal expectations and cultural conditioning to negative thought patterns and unresolved trauma. One common soul trap is the belief that our worthiness is tied to external achievements or validation from others. This belief can lead us to constantly strive for success and approval, even at the expense of our own well-being. We may find ourselves trapped in a cycle of perfectionism, constantly seeking validation from others and never feeling truly satisfied with ourselves. Another soul trap is the fear of failure or rejection, which can prevent us from taking risks and pursuing our passions. We may stay in jobs or relationships that no longer serve us because we're afraid of stepping into the unknown. This fear keeps us stuck in our comfort zones, preventing us from growing and evolving as individuals. Additionally, soul traps can manifest as limiting beliefs and negative self-talk that undermine our confidence and self-worth. We may internalize messages from our upbringing or society that tell us we're not good enough or deserving of love and success. These beliefs create a self-perpetuating cycle of negativity and self-sabotage, keeping us trapped in a cycle of unworthiness. To break free from soul traps, we must first recognize and acknowledge their presence in our lives. This requires developing self-awareness and mindfulness to observe our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors without judgment. By shining a light on our subconscious patterns, we can begin to unravel the layers of conditioning that keep us stuck. Next, we can engage in practices that support our spiritual and emotional well-being, such as meditation, journaling, and energy healing. These practices help us clear away energetic blockages and release negative emotions stored in our bodies. As we release these stagnant energies, we create space for new insights and perspectives to emerge. Finally, we can seek support from mentors, coaches, or therapists who can help us navigate our inner journey and provide guidance along the way. By surrounding ourselves with supportive and like-minded individuals, we create a container for growth and transformation. Soul traps are subtle yet pervasive forces that can keep us stuck in limiting patterns and prevent us from living lives of fulfillment and authenticity. By cultivating self-awareness, engaging in spiritual practices, and seeking support from others, we can break free from these traps and step into our true power and potential. Societal conditioning refers to the process by which society shapes and molds individuals to adhere to its norms, values, and expectations. From a young age, we're bombarded with messages from the media, education system, and other institutions that dictate how we should look, behave, and live our lives. These messages create a collective consciousness that can be difficult to break free from. One example of societal conditioning as a soul trap is the pressure to conform to traditional gender roles. From a young age, boys are taught to be strong, stoic, and assertive, while girls are encouraged to be nurturing, passive, and accommodating. These rigid stereotypes limit our expression of gender identity and can lead to feelings of inadequacy or shame if we don't fit into these narrow boxes. Another soul trap perpetuated by societal conditioning is the pursuit of material wealth and status as markers of success and happiness. We're bombarded with images of luxury lifestyles and celebrity culture that equate happiness with material possessions and external validation. This constant barrage of messages can lead to a never-ending quest for more, leaving us feeling empty and unfulfilled despite our outward success. Cultural norms also play a significant role in shaping our beliefs and behaviors, often without us even realizing it. Each culture has its own set of customs, traditions, and taboos that dictate acceptable behavior and social norms. These norms can create invisible barriers that limit our potential and keep us trapped in cycles of conformity and complacency. For example, in some cultures, there may be a stigma attached to seeking mental health support or expressing vulnerability, leading individuals to suffer in silence rather than seeking help. Similarly, cultural norms around family dynamics, relationships, and career choices can create pressure to adhere to certain expectations, even if they don't align with our true desires and values. To break free from societal conditioning and cultural soul traps, we must question and challenge the beliefs and norms that no longer serve us. This requires a willingness to step outside of our comfort zones and explore alternative perspectives and lifestyles. By embracing diversity and open-mindedness, we can expand our awareness and free ourselves from the limitations of cultural conditioning. This constant need for external validation can become a never-ending cycle, where we're constantly seeking approval and recognition to fill a void within ourselves. We may find ourselves compromising our values, suppressing our true desires, and living inauthentically in order to conform to the expectations of others. Another soul trap that ensnares many is the fear of failure and rejection. Society often portrays failure as something to be ashamed of, rather than as an inherent part of the learning and growth process. As a result, many of us develop a deep-seated fear of failure, which holds us back from taking risks, pursuing our passions, and living our fullest lives. This fear of failure can manifest in various ways, such as procrastination, self-doubt, and perfectionism. We may find ourselves stuck in a state of paralysis, afraid to take action for fear of making mistakes or facing criticism. This fear can prevent us from reaching our true potential and realizing our dreams. Additionally, soul traps can also take the form of limiting beliefs and negative self-talk. We internalize societal messages and experiences, which can lead to the development of beliefs such as, "I'm not good enough," "I don't deserve happiness," or "I'll never succeed." These beliefs create self-imposed limitations that hold us back from pursuing our goals and living fulfilling lives. To break free from these soul traps, we must cultivate self-awareness and mindfulness. We must learn to recognize when we're falling into patterns of seeking external validation, fearing failure, or engaging in negative self-talk. By bringing conscious awareness to these patterns, we can begin to challenge and reframe them. We must also practice self-compassion and self-acceptance, recognizing that we are worthy and deserving of love and happiness simply by virtue of our existence. By cultivating a sense of inner worthiness, we can diminish the power of external validation and release ourselves from the grip of fear and self-doubt.